Are you pregnant up to your eyeballs with your passion? Do you imagine all the ways that your passion will be manifested in the world and how much you have inside that you want to birth? And yet at times, do you ever feel really heavy with your passion? Heavy almost as though it's like a burden at times. You see, it was brought to my attention recently that there is a heaviness to the way that I am birthing my passion. So what is this all about? What is this heaviness? I believe that one of the most important questions that we can ever ask ourselves as women is if we are good enough, if we feel good enough for our passion. You see, when we don't feel good enough, we will always look to our passion as the thing that will prove our worthiness in the world. And what an incredible burden that can be. When we don't feel good enough, we look to justify everything in our lives as proof whether we're good enough. For instance, only until XYZ works out will we be good enough. And when we want to birth our passion, it doesn't work that way. We can't birth our passion. What I've realized is I can't birth my passion with any flow or with any ease until I address if I am good enough for my passion. So it is a very, very deep question, and it's such an incredible gift that we can give to ourselves, is to really, really ask ourselves if we're good enough. As we begin to come into the truth of the reality that we are good enough, imagine that now everything in your world, in the external world, also becomes good enough. What I noticed for myself is that in the past, nothing was really ever good enough, and I would work so hard to try and make things good enough, and it manifested itself obviously in perfection. And how tiring is that, to always want to perfect things on the outside so that we feel good enough on the inside. But as I began to grow in this feeling of being good enough for my passion, good enough as I am, no matter how I express myself, all is well. My world, the external environment, is also becoming good enough as it is. And this is the ease, this is the lightness that I require to birth my passion with greater ease. So I invite you to ask yourself this question, just go straight for it. It's a very deep question, it's very raw, but it is the most precious gift that we can give ourselves. It is really the question of all questions. So I urge you to bring some lightness into your birthing of your passion by asking yourself if you really, really feel good enough for your passion. I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments, and I invite you to watch more of my videos as we birth our passion with ease.